Hey guys, Coach Katie here with Fit Forever and Katie Kaiser Coaching, and I am going to talk to you today about supplementing and why it is so important to supplement your diet with protein powder, with greens, and all the things mixed in with that so that you can boost metabolism and burn fat faster. I was in your shoes or somewhere near them at one time in my life. I was 70 pounds overweight, defeated, frustrated, looking in the mirror, thinking an alien had taken over my body, or crying in my closet wearing sweatpants for the fourth time that week in a row because nothing fit, or I felt less than confident or comfortable in every single thing that I was wearing. A little bit of my backstory, got pregnant in 2015 and lost the baby pretty soon after, and I fell into depression, and it was a really, really hard season for me. It was right over the holidays, so I took to eating and drinking every single thing possible to basically cure my pain. And in the course of 3 months, I built some very quick bad habits. Luckily, we got pregnant again in January of 2016, so pretty soon after, but I went into that pregnancy already with these really bad habits, already 20 pounds heavier than I was 3 months prior. I gained 20 pounds fast. And then on bed rest in my pregnancy. That is Eli. He's healthy now and amazing, but I was on bed rest that entire pregnancy. And again, depressed that I couldn't do the things that I used to do for fun, and I wasn't able to live the healthy lifestyle that I used to live, and everything kind of went out the door. Well, you fast forward now, I've lost 70 pounds. I've taken back control of my life, and my goal is to help you do the same and do it without making all the mistakes that I made along the way. I found Arbonne not back in the beginning. I found it after my weight loss journey, and I wish that I had found it sooner, because the principles behind supplementing and adding greens to your diet every day are so important. So I want to make this video short, just give you a little bit of overview on what I believe in, and then let you make an educated decision after that. So my number one philosophy that I believe in is that women need to be building lean and toned muscle so that we can burn fat faster and lose weight easier on the scale. Why is building muscle so important? I do not care about losing weight with the number on the scale. Yes, if we have weight to lose, should the scale go down? 100%. We need to see that happen. What I find much more important is building our muscle, because the more muscle that you have, the more calories you can burn just sitting down watching Netflix. That's why any man in your life has cut out soda and beer and lost 20 pounds in 3 weeks. And you do the same, and you cannot even budge the scale one bit. Why is that? It's because men typically have more muscle than women and have a higher muscle to fat ratio, just because they're men. And now we're left with feeling defeated. How come I starve myself, and somehow the men in my life can cut out beer and see insane change that I will never see no matter what? Simply because they have more muscle. Genetically, it's easier for them to build it, unfortunately. That doesn't mean that women can't build muscle. We have to figure out, how do we do that? Remember this equation. The more muscle that you have, the faster your metabolism works, the faster that you burn fat, because you'll burn more calories just sitting watching Netflix. And it doesn't even matter if you're working out, you'll just burn more calories sitting watching Netflix if you have more muscle. So the faster that you burn fat, and the faster you overall lose weight on the scale. How do we get more muscle? That is the question. How do we get more muscle? If that's the answer, Katie, I need more muscle, how do I do that? Number one, eating enough protein. Number two, strength training. Strength training topic is a conversation for a different day. 3 to 4 days per week of 30 to 45 minutes of strength training. If you don't have a program and you have no idea where to start, you can join me in the Fit Forever app, and just message me on Instagram, the word TONED, TONED, and I'll send you information about the strength training program that I write every month for the clients that are in there. Otherwise, we're talking about nutrition today, protein plus strength training. How much protein do we need? What is protein actually? Like, before I went on my weight loss journey, I was eating healthy, but like, I can't tell you the number of times that I wanted to just like lose 8 to 10 pounds before even my weight loss journey and pregnancy and everything. I would just like want to lean out or look better or look good in a bikini. So I would eat very little and I would eat salads all the time. Okay, well, I'm eating very little and I'm eating healthy in my mind. However, I did not know that eating healthy also meant eating enough of the right foods. What are enough of the right foods? Okay, could I eat a Caesar salad every single day for the rest of my life? Like, actually, I could because I'm obsessed with them. But if I eat a Caesar salad and I don't put protein on it, now we don't have anything to build muscle. So now we're just eating healthy, but all of that hard work is going to waste because we're not putting the protein with it. I did not know that in the beginning of this journey. Had I known that, I would have lost the 70 pounds that I lost even faster. So I'm telling it to you now so that you don't make those same mistakes. Eat protein now, enough of it at the right time of every day, and you will burn fat faster. So Caesar salad plus chicken on it, that completes a meal. Anytime that you have a meal, you have to have protein. I share this in another series that I built out, but I will give you the cliff notes right now. Carbs are not bad. They're little cars that are driving down the highway and they're trying to get to the exit. The carbs are called carb cars and they want to pick up hitchhiking protein. So think about your Caesar salad and you put croutons on it. The croutons are your carbs. The croutons are driving down the street and they're like, well, I need some protein to hop in my car right now so that I can get to the exit. The carb car wants to take the protein to the exit so that it can drop it off and build muscle. Without hitchhiking protein, carb cars are just driving around and have no job to do. Those are called empty carb cars, or if you've heard of them, empty carbs. You do not want empty carbs. You need protein to hop in the car every single time because then the carb car has a job to do. So we've got protein. It's gotten importance. When we're talking about supplementing, oftentimes women are only eating 60 grams of protein on average, and you need at least double that. 60 grams of protein. That's one egg with breakfast with some toast, avocado. That's a lunch. We've got a salad. Okay, we're putting some chicken on it. And that's dinner. And maybe we're having pasta for that night. And we do have like a few meatballs on it. 60 grams of protein. That's all you're getting. Okay, we need to work on increasing our protein count to about 90 grams in whole foods. So that would be instead of one egg with breakfast, you're doing a 3/4 cup of egg whites. You're getting way more protein with that. At lunch, we're just adding a bit more chicken onto our Caesar salad. At dinner, instead of 2 meatballs, maybe we add a third or a fourth onto it. And now all of a sudden, we're at 90 grams of protein by actual natural sources. How easy was it to just shift that just a little bit? We still are unaccounted for with about 30 to 50 grams of protein. You need 1 gram per pound of goal body weight in protein every day. If that's too confusing to think about, just think about it in terms of those 3 meals that I just mentioned. And now we need to figure out how are we going to get a little bit more protein. We're going to supplement. And that's where now we wrap it all full circle back to supplementing with protein powder. I do 2 protein shakes per day to supplement. I have a hair right in my face. There it is. I get about 90 grams of protein. That whole system I just explained to you about those meals, that's about what I do. But then I'm still unaccounted for with that extra protein. So I supplement with 2 protein shakes per day. I do an essential meal protein shake from Arbonne, and I do that as a meal anywhere in the day. Anywhere, like 2 p.m. usually is when I'm like driving around and I'm like, I just need something really quick. It's a full meal replacement. After I work out, I do a Simply One Feel Fit protein shake, also from Arbonne. That one is not a meal replacement. It is just the protein. So I do that after I work out because after you work out, your body is like, let's build muscle super fast. So if you can get protein in right after you work out, you're higher likelihood of building muscle. So I do a Simply One Feel Fit protein shake right after I work out. So there's my 2 protein shakes in the day. So now we've covered protein. You're set. Now your body's going to burn fat because it's building muscle. We also, though, have to do the things that are we have to make sure that we combat the reasons why our body might stall out. So your body says, yes, protein, love it. However, what's going to happen is if you don't focus on all the rest of the things, your body's going to stall out, cortisol is going to crash, you're going to be in fight or flight, and you're going to store fat instead of burn it. So now we've talked about protein powder and why it's so important. Let's talk about greens, why greens are so important. Greens help support your metabolism, help support decreasing belly bloat, getting rid of belly fat, clear skin, and just overall well-being of your body and how it functions. So if we go back to that carb car analogy, I call that the metabolic highway. Your body is a metabolic highway. The carb car is on the highway. It wants to get to the exit with the protein powder, drop it off, build muscle, burn fat. If your metabolic highway is slow at any time and has a traffic jam or just in general not moving, your body's going to store fat no matter what you're trying to do. Greens helps your metabolic highway continue to move in the right direction. So I do green synergy elixir from Arbonne, and I drink that in water and I mix it with clean energy fizz every day. So think about your metabolic highway. We've got a greens powder to support overall function of metabolism in our body to help decrease bloating and move this highway in the right direction. And we've got clean energy fizz, which doesn't cause a crash like coffee or energy drinks do. So that clean energy fizz is basically the fuel for your car. Your car is like, whew, yes, okay, highway's open, no traffic jam. Now let's go. That clean energy fizz is what's going to do that. So I do greens and fizz around 2 p.m. every day. Mix those together, keeps my metabolic highway moving in the right direction. Last but not least, the thing that I add every day is a detox tea in the morning. So thinking back in terms of that metabolic highway, when is the most traffic on a highway? It's going to be at 7 in the morning or so. People are on their way to work. People are dropping off kids at school. So that detox tea helps detox that highway. It helps clear out those traffic jams to get prepped for a day so that your metabolism can work in the right direction. Cortisol is not going to spike and stay there. It's going to have its perfect ebbs and flows. And your metabolism is going to keep firing all day. So I start my day with a detox tea. I put a clean energy fizz in it. So I have 2 clean energy fizzes per day. Detox tea with fizz in it in the morning, first thing. Waiting all day till I have a protein shake after I work out. So there's my 2 protein supplements, and then greens and fizz. That's my full personal bundle that I do every month. And that would be, for lack of better terms, good, better, best. That would be the best option for you to choose. I'm going to send you a little infographic with all of this too. The best option is what I just mentioned, but I know that's not in everybody's budget. And I know also trying something new, you're like, ooh, but is it going to work? First of all, if you do it for an entire 30 days and you hate all of it and nothing worked at all, you can just contact Arbonne. That's on their side, not mine, but you can contact them and say, none of this worked and I hated it. And they will just send you money back. No questions asked. So try it for 30 days. If you hate it, no worries. So good, better, best. The better option would be, let's just do greens and protein powder for right now. Greens and protein powder. Okay. If we're at the good level, let's just do greens, because greens are what's supporting our metabolic highway, right? If our metabolic highway is stalled at any point in the day, nothing gets to happen. Even the regular protein sources that you're eating aren't able to get to the exit. So if you don't do any sort of greens during the day, your metabolic highway is traffic jammed and stalled all the time. So if you are budget friendly, no worries. Or if you're just like, I need to just try this. Let me see what happens if I just try it for 30 days with like the lowest entry thing possible. I'm going to do greens every day. I'm going to commit to doing greens every day. Keep my metabolic highway moving. That way the natural protein sources that I'm eating are moving to the exit. And I keep all things revved. Cortisol ebbs and flows the way it needs to. I can burn fat faster than I ever have before. That's your good option, greens. If you wanted to add the fizz to it just because it tastes amazing and it gives you that energy boost that doesn't crash you, I would do those 2 things together. So there's a few options for those good. Just greens by itself or greens and fizz. You decide on that. That is my whole spiel of the metabolic highway and how supplementing can help move everything along so that you can burn fat faster and lose weight forever on the scale. Last piece I want to touch on is you're hearing this and you're like, oh, she said protein powder. Okay, I was at Target yesterday, actually, and I saw that they have protein powder on the back end cap, and it was like 30% off or 50% off. I'm going to just go get that. Okay, I want to just debunk a few things for you, and then you are, again, allowed to make your educated decision. You decide what you want to do, no pressure. The last time that you went out with your girlfriends for wine, did you specifically ask the bartender, hey, I need your lowest bottle of wine on the lowest shelf. I need that lowest shelf bottle of wine. Table. Give it to us. Can't wait. You didn't do that because you know if you get the low shelf bottle of wine, the minute you have 4 sips of that, you're going to have a headache. Specifically, the next day, you're going to wake up with a headache. Maybe in college we were getting the lowest shelf stuff, but we're not now. If I don't drink anymore, but if I were to go out to drink, I would never ask for the lowest shelf bottle of wine. I'm a bit classier than that. I don't want the headache. I'm going to get the house or I don't even drink anymore, so I don't know what I'm ordering, but it's not the lowest shelf. Same thing happens when you are doing protein powder. Your clearance protein powder that you saw on that end cap at Target, your bulk protein powder that's sold at Costco, all of that is your low shelf protein powder. You're not going to have you might have an actual headache actually, because that's a hormonal response to bad gut health. You are going to have a gut health headache. You're going to be bloated, gassy. You're not going to be regular anymore with the bathroom, and you're going to store fat the minute that you start trying to cut corners because things are cheaper. I know that's hard because you look at Arbonne and you're like, oh, that's pricey. Well, it's pricier to feel like crap, to be honest, and the long-term side effects from that and what financial implications can come from that. So I do just want to put that out there in the air for you to camp out on for a little bit. I also encourage you to look up whey-based protein powders and lead, and look up how many whey-based protein powders have lead in them these days with recent studies. And also just know whey is very hard for humans to digest. Most humans cannot digest whey very well. What happens is we have just introduced it into our bodies at such a young age that we start to learn to tolerate it. The minute that you take out whey from your diet, you will feel so much better a week later. But we don't know that because we're just used to feeling gassy, bloated, constipated, not fitting in our clothes. We're just used to that because that's what culture has told us. Like, it's just how it is. It's whey. If you're doing whey-based protein powders or any of those pre-made protein powders, I wish I could tell you I did a fake study just to see if it was working or not working, but I didn't. I got a Ninja Creamy to make ice cream. And I put those pre-made muscle milk or whatever protein shakes in them because I was like, let me just cut some corners. These things taste really good. I'll just dump them in there. This was back when I was doing whey. And I lived in that world of, I guess I can tolerate whey because, aren't we all just kind of gassy sometimes? No, we're not meant to be like that. And I was just telling myself, we're just all kind of like this, right? No. The minute that I took out those pre-made protein shakes from my Creamy, I started putting vegan protein powder from Arbonne in there, I felt so much better. And it was insane to me that I had just lived in this world where I thought it was normal. I'll talk one more time quickly because I want to finish this in under 20 minutes. Arbonne versus any other vegan, because I know you're going to go to Amazon and you're going to be like, what other vegan protein powder is out there? Katie said don't do whey. Let me see what else there is out there. You're up against now a US-based protein powder company, or even not US-based, but hidden ingredients. Arbonne has a full label disclosure, so every single thing that is in their protein powders is on the bag. And also it's European-based. And I'm going to tell you that because if you go look at how many ingredients the European diet bans versus the US diet allows, it is insane. You can walk into any McDonald's in another country and the people there are fit. You walk into McDonald's here and people are not fit. The ingredients that the US diet allows versus European diet is crazy. Arbonne bans over 2,000 ingredients that the US diet allows. So just let that just sit there for a minute. Think about what you're putting into your body. Think about where you're spending your money on things? And is there a place in your world to focus on health and wellness? And I hope that you totally, like, you could take that metabolic highway thing and go tell it to a class of 5th graders, and they're going to be like, yes, okay, yeah. So I hope that helps you. I'm going to share one more thing just because this is always a question, like, what are my personal macros? I'm at 130 grams of protein. And if I'm in always, no matter what, if I'm in a fat loss stage, like I really am trying to burn fat and look really lean for something. Now that I've hit my goal, my carbs are around 100 to 115 on days I work out, 75 to 100 on days I don't work out. My fats are around 75 grams. If I'm really, this is for a select few of us, hit my goal, now I really want to go build muscle. I don't want to be as lean right now. I just want to build some muscle so I can lean out afterwards. Or I'm just like in a maintenance phase. Increase my carbs to about 150 to 175 on days I work out, and decrease my fats to about 55 to 60. On days I don't work out, fats stay the same, but my carbs go down to 125 to 150. So you can pause this, write all that down. I'm more than happy to answer any questions as well. Or if you're in the Fit Forever in 45 program, I help you build out your own macros in there, and I upload them to the app for you based on what you think your metabolic body type is and what your body responds to best. But I know when we're talking about protein and carbs and all the things, people then are like, well, how much should I be eating? So I did just want to leave you with that. And this video got a little bit long, but I hope it helped you, and reach out with any questions.